This is my first time running for office, and I've learned so much. I've been able to do a lot of thinking, a lot of evaluating, a lot of strategizing, a lot of planning. You know, when you run for office, you got to have a plan for what you're going to do different. You got to start thinking. You got to start thinking about what does that city need that it doesn't have to make the city better? What does the county need? What does the state need? What does the federal government need? What does the country need? How do we make America better? Donald Trump is saying, make America great again. Is the country really great again? The country's more divided. You know, you have all these people unemployed. And so how do you make a city great? How do you make a country great? And it's relative, because you look at America with all of our problems, and America's great compared to, you know, some other country. There's a whole lot of other countries that are far, far worse than America. And then you might look at the other country and you may say, well, America's better than this country, but this country's better than that country. And then you might look at that country and you might say, well, that country's better than that country over there. It's relative. I mean, but no matter where you go, every single country has major issues, major problems. Every single country, every single state, every single county, every single city in the world has like major problems. You look at America, you know, we got a major problem of homelessness. We got so many homeless people in America. It's like, wow. I don't even think I saw that many homeless people in Ethiopia, which is, man, their GDP is not even 1/100th of America's. Literally, probably not even 1/100th. You know, I think America's GDP is like 22 trillion. So 10% would be 2 trillion. And so another 10% of that, which is 1/100th, would be so 2 trillion. So that's 200 and something billion. So yeah, they might be 1/100th. But the whole point is that America, as big as we are, look how many homeless people we have. Homeless people. And, you know, it's like there's some major issues. How many drug addicts we have. We have so many drug addicts. Or look at some of our facilities and some of our cities, some of our roads and some of our bridges, some of our dams, our infrastructure. Some of the infrastructure is beautiful. Like, man, in America, we have some amazing roads, but some roads are toe up from the flow up. All in all, I love our infrastructure, but there are some cities, there's some counties that have some horrible infrastructure in America. Homelessness, drugs, a high, super high divorce rate. So we have a high divorce rate. Oh man, we abort a bunch of kids in America. There's a lot of kids that are not living with their parents. We have a lot of broken families in America. Yeah, America, we got problems. Man, we got problems in America. But everywhere you go in the world, people got problems. I mean, there are countries where the raping of women, the raping of little girls, the misogyny. And then there are countries where it's like the only people who are rich are the leaders. The leaders are billionaires or multimillionaires. They're basically stealing the money from the people. Oh man, that's like an old story. That's like an old song of these countries that have leaders that steal, they rob. You know, they talk a big game. Oh yeah, we want to help the people. Let's help the people. Then once they get in office, they rip the country off. Over and over and over. Next thing you know, they got a mansion in Beverly Hills. They're living here in the United States. They left their country after they ripped the country off. Basically, there's problems all over the world. Like there's nowhere you can go in the world that doesn't have problems. You know, we kill each other up. I mean, our gun laws in America are crazy. People going to school, shooting up people. You know, they go into places of business, shooting up people. We allow people to have machine guns. Like you can have machine guns in certain states in America. You know, and the gun right people are like, yeah, it's okay, have machine guns. The world is full of problems. And the one thing I've noticed is that it all comes down to leadership. It all comes down to leadership. You know, because like most of the problems that the world has can be eradicated very quickly. Most of the problems, like homelessness, can be eradicated very quickly. You know, drugs can be eradicated very quickly. You know, all the raping of all these women can be eradicated very quickly. Now, I'm not saying we're going to eliminate it 100% of it in overnight, but there are policies that we can make to make a gigantic difference. You know, racism can be eradicated very quickly. You know, I mean, all they got to do is make one law, and you could see the amount of police brutality in America towards people of color reduced by like 80%. Just make one law. Just one law. You know, if you kill a person that's unarmed, if you shoot a person that's unarmed in the back, or if you shoot a person that's unarmed, period, you're going to go through a regular justice case. We're not going to protect you. You're going to go through court. You're going to have to prove that you're innocent. Because right now we're basically protecting them. I mean, there's ways to eliminate a lot of the problems we're having. There's ways to eliminate homelessness. How do we eliminate homelessness? You know, we gotta change our policies when it comes to how we educate people. If we change the policies how we educate people, if we change our stance against drugs, stop going after the small-time drug. I mean, we're allowing drugs to come into America. Yeah, we allow it, you know. And our whole culture is drug-based. I mean, we drug everybody. We drug our kids. Oh, they move around too much. Give them a slow-down drug. Oh, they're too slow. Give them a moving around drug. We drug our kids. There's so many drugs now. You know, there's legal drugs, there's illegal drugs, but our society is full of drugs. Everybody has drugs now. There's drugs for 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds. For every single age group, there's a drug. And we condone it. We condone drugs. We need to stop being such a drug-infested society. We're letting in the cocaine. We're letting in the heroin. We're letting it happen. You know, whenever they say we want to do a war on drugs, they're not even doing a war on drugs. They're doing a war on the people of color. Oh, let's just throw all the black people in jail. We're doing a war on drugs. There was never a war on drugs because they know where the drugs are coming from. They know the cartels that are making the drugs. And most of the time, the leaders are getting their palms rubbed with some money, and they're letting the drugs into the country. We can stop the drugs at the source. We don't need to throw people smoking weed in prison. We need to stop the weed from being produced. Well, weed is legal now, so I guess I can't talk about weed. I guess I have to talk about meth. I guess I have to talk about heroin. I guess I have to talk about opioids, whatever, illegal drugs. We let the illegal drugs in. Every single month, man, them drugs are coming in, boatloads of drugs coming into America, coming into all different parts of the world. You know, the problems that we have in the world can be resolved. There's so many problems. There's so many countries where the average person makes like $20, $100 a month. They make $100 a month. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous when the average person makes $100 a month, and then there's people in that country who are billionaires. You know, it's ridiculous because it's not because the person making billions of dollars is working harder. You know, a lot of the problems that we have too is that poor people are stupid. Poor people are just stupid because poor people believe the lies that they're told. Like, you could tell a poor person, hey, you know, just if we lower the taxes of the rich people, then it's better for you. And poor people believe it, you know. Oh man, so many problems can be resolved in the world, but at the end of the day, it takes leadership. Leadership. We need good leaders. And we need a good system for leaders, because if leaders are taking in hundreds of billions of dollars from corporations, I mean, look at this race in South Carolina. It's like $120 million for a Senate race. Are you kidding me? In South Carolina? I mean, is the GDP of South Carolina 120 million? I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm